Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Orc Rogues, where we bring to you everything nerdy, geeky, and just plain fun. My name is Thomas.
And my name is Derek.
And this, of course, is the show where we talk about Seth MacFarlane's new sci-fi series, The Orville. We do this every week after an episode of The Orville comes out. And this week, we're talking about episode 11, New Dimensions. So what'd you think?
I loved it. It was very dimensional.
It was.
It was great. I again say that pretty much every week. Feel like repeating itself, but The Orville is a great show, which I still find just strange.
Yeah, it is a little odd that Seth MacFarlane has made a better Star Trek series than Star Trek.
Yeah, and not a little bit better.
No.
Like miles better. Like
yep.
Like almost. Can I say almost next generation worthy?
No. Not Patrick Stewart.
No, it's not that. But it's a really good Star Trek.
It is a really good Star Trek that's not a Star Trek. Though in all honesty, and might get flamed for it, but I think it is kind of like I think it's close to like Voyager worthy.
That's fun.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah, I
liked Voyager. Voyager was good.
I don't know that you'll ever get a cast like Next Generation again, but
probably not. It was just a good cast all the way around.
But yeah, we've even had Robert Picardo.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll say Voyager worthy, at least Voyager cast worthy.
Well, clearly.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And this episode was certainly not an exception. It was a wonderful episode. Plenty of funny moments in it.
Yeah.
Because we talk just about every week about the balance of the humor and the drama in the show. And this one, I think, did a pretty good job once again.
I think so, yeah. It actually felt fairly balanced. In fact, honestly, right now, if I had to pick one way that it felt, I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm not real sure. It's
if anything, I would say,
humor.
A little bit on the humorous side.
But it was close. It was.
Yeah, the whole bit at the beginning, with Bortus and
you know what? I forgot about that part.
Yeah,
I actually did.
Really bad. I can't remember his name.
Norm Macdonald.
Yeah, his character, the gelatinous blob thing. Wow,
right out of my head too, man. Yeah, I got nothing.
I know it. It's just, anyways. The whole thing with Bortus accidentally eating a part of him.
Oh, not really accident.
Well,
not really accident. Accident on Bortus's part, I guess.
Being tricked into eating a part of him. Yeah, that was a little odd.
That was a little. It was a little rough, actually.
Yeah, especially when he reached into Bortus to pull himself out.
Yeah, slightly inappropriate. Yeah, it's. That was Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah,
that was the Seth MacFarlane I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll give you that one. But the rest of the episode actually felt pretty good.
Yeah, I did. I forgot about that part. I literally just put it out of my head.
It really wasn't that important to the rest of the story.
No, not really. Kind of, sort of. Like the prank was.
Yeah.
Because it put John in the position.
Yeah,
for everything else,
true.
It kind of set things up.
That is true. Though I do love what they did with John. The entirety of the series so far, I have felt that John was just a really underdeveloped character that was either there as and I hate to say this, as a token, or just as not incredibly great comic relief.
Yeah.
I feel like Gordon served as much better comic relief than John did.
I would agree. Gordon typically funnier, generally speaking, and John, it just didn't feel right. It was weird because he felt a lot like a major minor character.
Yeah.
or a minor, major character. Like, I don't know. He wasn't quite there. Like, it sucks to say, but he could have been in. Like, he could have not been there, and the show would have been fine.
Yeah. And this episode, that certainly was not the case. And actually, in all honesty, it almost felt like Geordi. After seeing this episode, because Geordi wasn't a main character at the beginning of Next Generation.
That's right.
Until he became chief engineer.
That is planned? Was it planned?
I don't know. It was either planned or they didn't intend They didn't intend for him to be a main character from the get-go, and then he either outperformed and we haven't seen it, or something happened and they decided to rewrite the script a little bit, or they had casting stuff.
I mean, I love what they did with it. I mean, like the whole concept of it with him being brighter than he is and downplaying it, I thought was actually pretty interesting.
Actually, I'm going to say planned.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the first episode, they mentioned something about him being highly rated as a helmsman as well as a navigator. So he was multifaceted from the first episode.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
In fact, there were a lot of things in this episode that kind of hark back to the first episode.
Right.
With Commander Grayson and her conniving way of getting Captain Mercer his ship.
Which I thought he handled well later. Throughout it. And mind you, I thought also that he described how he handled it initially very well. Yes. He owned up pretty well. The only thing that kind of bugged me, and it was more just because I found it weird, was the scene when they're trying to get away from the other dimension, from the 2D area, and they're pulling away. They make this big deal over John, who's kind of central at this point in this thing of oh my gosh, I just forgot Seth's
Captain Mercer.
Mercer, thank you,
Ed Mercer.
Yeah, I mean, like he's getting ready to punch it and get out, and he makes a point of saying, it's going to collapse the bubble, and he says, I'm not going to be able to hold it together, and Ed's like, you're a really smart guy. I trust you to do this. And then they go, and we see none of that. Like, they just get out, and that bugged me. Like, I mean, I didn't need much. I would have been really happy with like 5 seconds. Yeah. 5 seconds of seeing John scramble to keep, the field stable. That would have, that's all I needed. And yet we didn't get a chance to see John performing at all there, and I think that was just a missed opportunity.
Though, and I will say, I do really like where they're going with John overall.
Yes.
I also like how he developed throughout the episode.
Yeah,
it was very similar to the episode with Lara taking command.
Yeah.
That all I felt really good about.
That's true. Yeah.
I also liked the dynamic between John and aforementioned glob of goop that I can't remember his name, of Norm Macdonald's character. It's right. No. Okay.
Yeffet?
Well, we're trying here.
Yeffet?
Yes. Yeffet.
Something close to that.
Something like that. Yeah. Yes. That is it. Wow. We are failures.
I got
it. You got it. Good job.
Sort of.
No, I like the dynamic between the two of them, and it really, actually, it made the opening scene a little bit more important, because that was the prank that he pulled on him, and now he's being put in charge, and the way that
is true.
and the way that John defended him, at the end, it was overall, it was a good episode. I do have one complaint, other than the opening bit,
sure.
The two-dimension. The two-dimensional
board?
place. Yeah, the circuit
board.
Never seen anything like that.
It's a circuit board. Maybe circuit boards look different.
Maybe?
I don't know. Maybe do they use circuit boards?
You know what it reminded me of, honestly? Do you remember that old... It was one of the first CGI cartoons they ever made, Reboot?
Oh, wow. Yes, I do remember.
It reminded me of something out of Reboot.
It really did.
In fact, I
really did.
Half wonder if they didn't steal it from it.
It's not impossible. Yeah.
That's what it looked like. The effects were very similar to that
the
early
effects were pretty
90s
bad.
CGI.
The effects were pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah. So that bothered me a little bit. I think they could have been a little bit more creative about that.
Brief honorable mention, though.
Yes.
The joke with the cat, or lack thereof, and Isaac. One of the it was beautifully executed. Absolutely beautifully executed. And I mean, probably for me the biggest laugh of the show. I mean, it was just nicely done.
Yep.
Oh, also Isaac's treatment of John, though, I thought was interesting. You know, when he first watches him, he's just like, "You're not good at this," you know, and going through the thing, and he says, you know, what did he say? They say, "Well, they're doing this because they think I'm smart," and he's like, "Well, you know, I can tell them you're not." Just completely stone faced. Well, robot.
Until the moment that John tells off the crew.
Yep.
And he just sort of looks at him, turns around, continues his work.
Says nothing, but a definite acknowledgement.
Yes, absolutely. But anyways, thought it was an awesome episode. I certainly you seem to agree.
Absolutely.
Can't wait for the next one, and we will of course be talking about it when that happens. So thank you all for joining us. If you want to find us online, you can find us at www.orcrogues.com. And of course, don't forget that we also release a regular weekly video at the same time as this one comes out. So it is out now. It is an important video. We really want everyone to watch it.
Or this coming.
So go check that out. We're talking about some important stuff going on, at least in America right now. We don't believe in getting into politics, but unfortunately we have to touch a little bit of a subject on this one. So we do ask that you go check that out. It is important to actually a lot of people. So please go look at that. Also, don't forget to join us on Twitch. Derek?
Yep, Hearthstone will be 2:30. Sorry, I missed. Well, I didn't. Did I miss entirely? I might have.
I think you did.
I think I did. But 2:30 Monday Eastern Standard Time. Wow, I just butchered that entirely. But Monday at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There we go.
He'll get there one day.
I'll be streaming some Hearthstone. Going to be trying out a few new decks, and pretty soon we'll actually have a new expansion coming out, and I'm going to be getting into that. We'll see some new cards and get to try them out.
Cool. And of course, on Tuesdays, I continue my playthrough of Tales of Berseria, and that is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, so be sure to check that out. Also, we do have a lot of other things planned. We've got a web series that we're wanting to do. We've got a movie we're wanting to do. We've got other things, board games, tabletop games that we are in the process of designing. But, of course, we do need help with that. So if you'd like to help us out, you can do so at www.patreon.com/orcrogues. And any amount helps and is always appreciated. So, until next time, we are Orc Rogues.